Yeah, what's up? Base Boxing Basement Chill, be in the house. Like, hype, subscribe, donate, all them things, man. So, Pat Brown from Manchester, England, man. He dazzled in his US debut, man. And that's the sort of thing that clown Adam Smith would say, isn't it? This is the kind of stuff he'd say. And the blistering bomber Pat Brown dazzles and dominates in his US debut. And there's the respect. You know what? I think Adam Smith's got worse since he's moved to DAZZLES, right, from Sky. And there's a lot of suspicion about what happened, why he moved, the real reason he got sacked, I don't believe all the theories about he was ill. Why would you sack someone who was ill? Why would you sack someone who was ill? And why would you not, for someone who'd worked for your company for so long, why would you not, put out some kind of PR release saying, look, unfortunately, Adam Smith is unwell and, thoughts and prayers and whatever, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, this is not what it's about, When I see Adam Smith, or rather when I hear him, I want to be like Ed Norton, Derek Vineyard. Have you seen that film in American History X? When his sister starts talking too much and he gets a huge bunch of beef or some kind of meat and he sticks it in her mouth, and tells her to shut up. That's what I want to do. Because you don't shut up, Adam Smith, man. I always think, it reminds me of I see Tony Soprano going, You know what your fucking problem is? You know what your fucking problem is? You talk too much. And stick his mouth full of beef, man. He ruins the fights for me. But actually, he wasn't commentating on the Pat Brown fight. But we got the American commentary team, which are biased, knowledgeless. But Pat Brown really impressed. He did really impress. Now, onto the fight, right? Pat Brown, he really impressed, man. He really impressed. Now, usually, when they bring a UK prospect over to the United States, they get matched a bit harder. Instead of fighting some bum that's got 3 points wins and 25 losses, they put him against a half-decent guy. And, it was only, I think, his fifth fight? I think it was his fifth fight. He fought a guy called Felix Valera. Felix Valera is 37, right? So he's not a young guy, but he's got 24 wins, 21 KOs, so he can punch, 9 losses, and only 3 by stoppage. And he's boxed some top guys. He boxed Dimitri Bivol over 12 rounds. He lost on points. Yeah. Who else? Sullivan Barrera, not a bad fighter, lost on points. A guy who had 20 wins and 1 loss. A Ukrainian dude. All the guys he's lost to have got really good records. Maxim Vlasov, he lost on points. He did lose to Alexei Papin by stoppage. Papin's not a big puncher, but still 17-1. Mikhail Kelsak, 25 wins, 2 losses. He got stopped by him. And his last fight, he lost on points to Tristan Kalkrioth, who's a big prospect. I think he's the Oscar de la Homo camp. But we're talking about a tough guy who's rarely been stopped, who's fought at a top level. I think he won some kind of IBO title or some nonsense like that. But, this is a guy who's boxed at a top level. Whether or not he's done, he hasn't beaten many top level guys, but Pat Brown is only in his 5th fight, It was only a year ago or whatever. He was in the Olympics. Yeah. So Pat Brown had only had 4 fights, all knockouts, and he come in against Felix Valera, and who can punch, by the way. Even at a lower level, he can still punch. And he dazzled, man. He dazzled. Yeah. He was violent, Pat Brown. He was quick. He was very powerful punching. Yeah, he might have to tighten his, his defense up a bit. Sometimes his head is a bit high. He's a tall cruiserweight though. Yeah, and he will have to tighten his defense up a bit more. But he wants the knockout. He's not shy about throwing big shots, and he's got power. And I think Chris Mannix or whatever, the whack American DAZZLES commentary said he's the British Marciano. That's just pathetic. I mean, how lazy is that? How lazy is that journalism, right? I'm surprised they didn't call him the White Mike Tyson from Manchester, England. It's nonsense. I mean, Pat Brown is nothing like Rocky stylistically, except that he punches hard, but he doesn't fight like Marciano. I don't think anyone else that I can remember fights like Marciano. He's unique, Marciano. But that's not to disrespect Pat Brown. He was aggressive. He was looking for the knockout. He could have taken his time. People were saying, yeah, maybe he could go the distance. He can go 8 rounds. He can learn to go more than a few rounds. But no, Pat Brown sparked, but they were out in style. In style. And we need a new star in the UK, especially the bigger weights. And yeah, I think Pat Brown will do it. It's rare that they will push a UK fighter to appear on an American bill, a big-ish name American bill, fighting a half-decent fighter. Because there's this culture in the UK of letting prospects fight complete bum after bum after bum. Guys that have got 6 wins, like I said, 20 losses, and want to go distance. But no, if you've got faith in your fighter, you will throw him in. You don't throw him in at the deep end, but you got to throw him in at the mid end. Yeah, and they did that with Pat Brown. So I'm excited by this guy, man. Yeah, Valera's aged, 37. He's more of a light heavyweight. Pat Brown's a big cruiserweight. But and he was in the Olympics, and I think he lost his first fight. But his style is very professional. It's a professional style. It's violence. It's violence. It's nastiness. It's KO power. So I'm very excited about this Pat Brown. And we need a new star in British boxing because Fury, Gage, what was that? Fury, Gage, Yard, Anthony Yard if you want. These guys are finished soon. Chisora, Dillian White. You need big names. And I think Pat Brown could be it. I hope they don't push him too fast. I hope they get him to keep his chin down. But I'm very excited about this Pat Brown. He's got it all. He's likable. He's not boastful. I mean, I don't want to sound fruity. He's not a bad looking guy. So he looks good. Let's be honest, man. People that are attractive, right? In the media. Sorry. People, I got cut off then. But people, who are attractive always bring more attention in the media. Of course they do, man. Beauty is an attractive trait. Yeah? I'm not saying he's beautiful, but I'm saying this is a guy who is likable. He's got that kind of a Ricky Hatton type normality about him, where he's just a normal guy. But the difference is between him and, Ricky is what? He's bigger. He's a cruiserweight. He will be 6'3", allegedly. He'll probably go up to be a heavyweight at some stage. But at this point, in the cruiserweight division, and Jay Patel will move up soon, you know. It'll be at least 2 years before Pat Brown fights for the world title. And there probably won't be much there. He's exciting. Everybody loves knockouts. Everybody loves to see a man under, whatever people say. I love to see Mayweather's skills. Money Mayweather. No. People want to see people get ironed out. That's what boxing's about. So, yeah. It's very positive for Pat Brown, and hopefully he will be a new star of British boxing. Peace in the Middle East.